The roar of the crowd hit me like a linebacker before I even saw the kiss. There, under the blinding stadium lights of Levi's Stadium, my fiancé Zachary locked lips with Brock Harlan, the towering, chiseled alpha quarterback everyone whispered about like he was some god from the gridiron pantheon. My heart didn't just break. It shattered into 1,000 cleat marks on the turf of our shared life. I froze in the tunnel, cleats glued to the astroturf, the scent of fresh-cut grass and stale beer assaulting my senses. Zachary's hand, those fingers that had traced my spine 1,000 nights, cupped Brock's jaw, pulling him deeper into the betrayal. And in that split second, as confetti rained down from our team's improbable playoff win, I realized the real game wasn't on the field. It was the one we'd been playing off it, where love was just another fumble waiting to happen. The whistle blew, and the world snapped back into focus. Levi's Stadium pulsed with 70,000 souls chanting, "Raiders! Raiders!" But for me, Austin Reyes, it might as well have been a funeral dirge. I just sacked the opposing QB in overtime, sealing our first postseason berth in a decade, and the silver and black confetti stuck to my sweat-slicked pads like ironic glitter on a grave. At 26, I was the heart of the Oakland Raiders defense, a 6'2" Latino kid from East LA who'd clawed his way from community college scrimmages to the NFL dream. But dreams have a way of curdling when the man you love turns out to be the knife. Zachary Ellis. God, even his name tasted like regret now. We'd met 4 years ago at a charity gala in San Francisco, him in a tailored navy suit that hugged his swimmer's build, me awkward in a borrowed tux, nursing a beer to hide my nerves. He was a sports agent, 28, with that golden boy charm, cropped blonde hair, ocean blue eyes, and a laugh that could disarm a room. "You're the reason I watch football," he'd said, clinking his glass against mine. Not for the hits, but for the heart. 6 months later, we were engaged, rings glinting like promises under the Bay Bridge at sunset. Our wedding was booked for Napa Valley next spring vineyards. Vows, the whole white picket fence fantasy for two guys who'd grown up hiding who they were. But fantasies fray. Lately, Zachary had been distant, buried in client calls that stretched into midnight. I'd chalk it up to the grind, his firm repping half the league stars, including Brock Harlan, the Raiders' golden calf. Brock was everything I wasn't, 6 feet 5 inches of pure alpha energy, with a jawline that could cut glass and a cannon arm that made scouts drool. Off the field, he was the king of the locker room, cracking jokes that landed like grenades, betting whoever caught his eye. Rumors swirled about his conquests, models, influencers, the occasional teammate who wandered too close. I never thought Zachary would be one of them. Until tonight. The kiss replayed in my mind like a bad highlight reel as I stumbled into the post-game chaos. Teammates slapped my back, hollering about MVP bets and strip club runs, but their voices blurred into white noise. I spotted Coach Ramirez across the field, his mustache twitching as he barked orders at the equipment guys. "Reyes, get your ass over here. Interview in 5. I nodded numbly, peeling off my helmet, the weight of it suddenly too much. In the family lounge, away from the frenzy, I finally exhaled. The room smelled of catered sliders and cheap champagne, families milling about with kids in tiny jerseys. That's when I saw him, Zachary, straightening his tie, Brock's arm slung casually over his shoulder like they were old frat buddies. My stomach lurched. I wanted to charge in, fists flying, but the fighter in me knew better. Football had taught me timing. Rush too soon, and you get flagged for roughing the passer. Instead, I slipped into the shadows by the vending machines, phone in hand. Our last text exchange glowed mockingly. Proud of you, babe. See you after? Love, Z. That was 2 hours ago. Now, as I watched them laugh, Brock's deep timbre cutting through the din, Zachary's hand lingering a beat too long on his bicep, rage boiled into something sharper. Hurt. The kind that hollows you out. I fired off a message, we need to talk. Now. No response. Minutes ticked by, the lounge emptying as winners dispersed into the night. Finally, my phone buzzed. In the parking lot. Lot B. Heart hammering, I grabbed my duffel and pushed through the glass doors into the crisp Bay Area chill. The lot was a sea of gleaming SUVs and RVs, exhaust fumes mingling with the distant crash of waves from the Embarcadero. Zachary leaned against his Audi, arms crossed, that boyish smile faltering when he saw my face. Austin. Hey, don't. My voice cracked like thunder. I saw you. With him, his eyes widened, then dropped to the asphalt. It's not what it looks like. Save it, Zach. I've been blind, not stupid. I stepped closer, the gravel crunching under my spikes. Close. He looked wrecked, pale under the sodium lamps. I ask you. How long? He swallowed, glancing over his shoulder like Brock might materialize from the fog. A month. Maybe 2. It started at that retreat in Tahoe. Late nights. Too much whiskey. I don't know. U.S. He just gets me in ways. Stop. I held up a hand, the engagement ring on his finger catching the light like a taunt. Mine felt like a noose. An alpha. Of course. Because I'm just the reliable D-end. The guy who takes the hits so you can shine. That's not fair. His voice rose, edged with that lawyer's steel. You're always gone. Practices, film sessions, road games. I feel like a ghost in our apartment. Brock. He sees me. Really sees. I laughed, bitter and hollow. Sees you? Or uses you? He's got a trail of broken hearts longer than his completion percentage. Memories flooded. Our first pride in the Castro. Dancing shirtless under rainbow flags. Lazy Sundays in bed. His head on my chest as we dreamed of adopting someday. All ash now. Zachary reached for me, but I jerked back. We can fix this, he pleaded. Therapy. Space, whatever. I love you, Austin. You're my rock. Your rock. I yanked off my ring, the metal warm from my skin, and pressed it into his palm. Rocks don't bleed. And right now, that's all I'm doing. I turned, striding toward my truck, the stadium's roar fading behind me like a bad dream. But dreams don't end at dawn. I drove the winding roads back to our loft in Oakland's Jack London Square, the city lights blurring through unshed tears. The place reeked of us, his citrus cologne on the couch, my protein shakes in the fridge. I collapsed onto the bed, staring at the ceiling fan's lazy spin, Zachary's side pristine and accusing. Sleep came in fits, haunted by flashes. Brock's smirk in the huddle, Zachary's whisper in the dark. Morning light sliced through the blinds, pulling me upright. My phone exploded with notifications, teammate group chats hyping the win, ESPN clips tagging me as Reyes. The sack heard round the league. Buried in the noise, a text from coach, presser at 10. Don't be late. And congrats, Kid, you earned it. Earned it. Yeah. But what about the rest? I showered, the hot water scouring away the grime but not the ache. Dressed in a crisp button-down and slacks, game day armor traded for media polish, I headed out, the engagement ring's absence a phantom weight on my finger. The press conference was a circus. Mics thrusting like spears, questions flying about my game-changing strip sack. I pasted on a smile, channeling every ounce of that East LA grit mom instilled before cancer took her too soon. Team effort, I said, voice steady. We fight for each other out there. Irony tasted like bile. After, in the locker room's echoing vastness, Brock cornered me by the sinks. Steam from the showers hung heavy, towels snapping like whips in the distance. He was shirtless, water beating on his sculpted chest, that alpha aura radiating like heat off pavement. Heard you and Zach had words, he drawled, leaning in too close. Look, man, it's not personal. Not personal? I slammed my locker, the clang reverberating. You poached my fiancé, Harlan. On our night, his grin didn't reach his eyes, predator sizing up prey. Poached? Nah. Zach came to me, said he needed excitement. You get it, defensive guys like us, we block. But QBs? We score. Fury ignited, but I held it, fists clenched at my sides. This isn't a play. It's my life. Then run a better route. He clapped my shoulder, grip bruising, and sauntered off, leaving me seething amid the scent of axe and ambition. That night, alone in the loft, I poured a whiskey, Dad's old ritual after losses, and scrolled through old photos. Us at Yosemite, backs to the lens, hands intertwined. The ache deepened, but so did resolve. Football had saved me once. From the streets, from grief. Could again. The divisional round loomed in 2 weeks. Us versus the Chiefs. Arrowhead's cauldron. If I couldn't save my love, I'd save myself on the field. Little did I know, the betrayal was just the first down. The real blitz was coming. The days blurred into a punishing rhythm. Film study till my eyes burned. Weight room reps that left bruises blooming like Zachary's lies. Oakland's winter chill seeped into my bones, but I welcomed it, numbed the edges of the pain. Teammates noticed, of course. You good, Reyes? Jamal, our cornerback with the gap-toothed grin, asked during drills, tossing me a water bottle. Look like you saw a ghost. Worse, I muttered, chugging it down. A cheat, but I clammed up after that. Locker room code. What happens in the huddle stays in the huddle. No one needed my drama diluting the focus. Zachary tried reaching out, voicemails laced with apologies, flowers delivered to practice like peace offerings. I messed up, US. Come home. I deleted them all, the loft echoing with silence. Instead, I crashed at Jamal's in the Temescal district, his couch a lumpy lifeline amid the aroma of his abuela's tamales. Love's a contact sport, he said one night over beers on his fire escape, city lights twinkling below. Sometimes you gotta hit back harder. He was right. But hitting back meant facing the mirror, confronting the Austin who'd settled, who'd ignored the cracks because Zachary's touch felt like home. Gay in the NFL? It was a minefield. I come out junior year at Cal, the first openly queer Raider since forever, and the backlash had been brutal. Slurs in the stands, sponsors ghosting. Zachary had been my shield, whispering, "You're unbreakable." Now, That shield was shattered. A week post-betrayal, the team jetted to Kansas City for walkthroughs. Arrowhead Stadium loomed like a fortress, the sea of red a tidal wave waiting to crash. Brock, ever the showman, hyped it on socials. Shirtless push-ups in the hotel gym. Caption Chiefs, we're coming for your soul. Alpha Hour. I unfollowed him mid-scroll, thumb hovering over block. Not yet. Timing. Hotel nights were torture. Sleepless tosses in crisp sheets, the hum of the AC mocking my racing pulse. I texted my sister Sophia back in LA. Feels like fourth and long. No receiver open. Her reply pinged instant. Then run it yourself. Mijo. You've got the legs. God, I missed her. Fierce. Tattooed. The one who'd held me when mom faded, teaching me to channel hurt into hustle. Game day dawned gray and gusty, wind whipping off the Missouri River. In the locker room, hype thrummed, music blasting Travis Scott, shoulder pads clacking like armor. Coach Ramirez pulled me aside, his eyes sharp under that perpetual scowl. Reyes, you're calling the front four today. Harlan's arm is gold, but your D is the vault. Lock it down. Yes, sir. I nodded, strapping on my helmet, the familiar weight grounding me. Out on the field, the national anthem swelled, fighters jetting overhead in a roar that vibrated my chest. Chiefs fans jeered, a wall of crimson hate, but I zeroed in Patrick Mahomes' barking signals, his offense a well-oiled machine. Kickoff. The ball spiraled high, and we collided, bodies crunching, turf tearing. First drive, I stuffed their RB for a loss, the impact jarring my teeth. Crowd booed, but my blood sang. Second quarter, trailing 10-7, Brock dropped back, poised, predatory, and zipped a 40-yard dart to our WR. Touchdown. He jogged to the sideline, fist-bumping Zachary, who stood there in team gear, clipboard in hand like nothing had fractured. From the bench, I watched, ice in my veins. Halftime locker room, coach ripping into us, veins bulging. Wake up, this ain't Pee-wee. Fight like men. Brock, towel around his waist, cracked a joke about Chiefs choking harder than a bad hookup, drawing laughs. Our eyes met. His smirk said game on. Third quarter blitz. I shot the gap, sacking Mahomes for a safety 2 points. Momentum swing. The stadium shook, our sideline erupting. Jamal bear hugged me. That's my dog. But as I trotted off, winded and wired, Zachary approached, eyes pleading. AUS, please. After the game, focus on your client. I spat, helmet muffling the venom. Wouldn't want to miss his victory lap. The fourth quarter was Armageddon. Scores tied at 17. 2 minutes left. Chiefs ball at their 20. I lined up, heart a war drum, staring down their LT, a mountain named Jones. Snap. Mahomes pumped, faked, dropped back. I exploded, shedding the block like dead weight, arrowing through the line. My hands closed around his jersey, driving him into the dirt. Fumble. The ball squirted free, bouncing wild. Chaos. Our safety scooped it, rumbling 70 yards for the score. Touchdown Raiders. 24-17. The clock bled out in a frenzy of incompletions and kneels, Arrowhead's roar turning to stunned silence. Victory. In the dog pile, joy crashed over me. teammates piling on, the turf a tangle of limbs and laughter. But as confetti fell, I caught Brock's gaze across the field, pulling Zachary into a quick, hidden embrace. The high soured. Triumph tasted like ashes. Post-game, the hotel bar pulsed with celebration. Champagne flutes clinking, stories swelling. I nursed a soda, replaying the sack on my phone, when Sophia called. Watched from the shop, proud doesn't cover it. But you sound off. Tell you later, I whispered, ducking into the hall. Truth spilled then. The kiss, the lies, the alpha shadow. She listened. Then, betrayal's a cheap shot, US. But you're the starter. Bench him. Play your game. Her words lingered as I wandered the balcony. City sprawl glittering below. Footsteps, Brock, beer in hand, leaning on the rail. Hell of a game, Reyes. That fumble? Poetry. Save the charm. I faced him, the wind tousling his perfect hair. What do you want from him? Trophies? Arm candy. He sipped, eyes narrowing. Honesty? Zach's fire. You're steady. But steady gets stale. Stale? I stepped closer, voice low. I built us. Late nights when he crashed after deals. Cooked. When his dad disowned him for us, I held him. That's not stale, that's love. Brock's facade cracked. Just a flicker. Maybe. But love's a risk. And I'm all in. He clapped my arm, patronizing, and left, the door swinging shut like a guillotine. Alone, I punched the rail, knuckles splitting. Blood welled, warm and real. Steady? Screw that. I'd show them fire. Back in Oakland, the bye-week stretched like a sentence. Practices lightened, but my resolve hardened. I hit the gym at dawn, pushing PRs on deadlifts. The barbells grown my therapy. Jamal dragged me to a queer bar in the Mission, neon signs buzzing outlaws. Drag queens slaying lip syncs. For the first time in weeks, I laughed, real, gut deep, as a twink with glitter eyelids bought me around. Hero on and off the field, he flirted. I smiled, but my heart stayed sidelined. Zachary showed up at practice's end one Tuesday, parking his Audi curbside like a supplicant. AUS, talk to me. Rain slicked the lot, mirroring my mood. What's left to say? I zipped my hoodie, rain beating on the Raider logo. Everything. He grabbed my wrist, desperate. I ended it with Brock. He was a mistake, a way to feel alive. But you're my forever. I yanked free, rain masking tears. Alive? You think I don't make you feel that? Every tackle, every win, it's for us. His face crumpled. I know. I'm sorry. Come home. Please. Temptation clawed, familiar arms, familiar bed. But trust, shattered. I need time, I said finally. Real time. He nodded, defeated, driving off into the downpour. I stood there, soaked, the city's pulse syncing with mine. Time. Yeah. The conference championship loomed. Us versus the Bills in Buffalo. Snow and spite. On that frozen field, to carve my truth. But shadows lengthened. Late that night, anonymous DMs hit my Insta. Grainy pics of Zachary and Brock, post-kiss embraces. He's playing you, hero. Sender unknown. Panic spiked. Leaks? Sabotage? I blocked, But sleep evaded, paranoia coiling like a snake. Next morning, coach called me in. Reyes, rumors flying. Personal stuff. Handle it quiet, media's circling. My gut twisted. It's nothing, sir. His eyes bored in. Nothing doesn't look like hell. Focus up. Bills want blood. Blood. The word echoed as I laced my cleats. The field called unforgiving, honest. There, at least, betrayal had rules. Penalties. Plays. And always, a chance to fight back. Buffalo in January was biblical punishment. Wind howling off Lake Erie like a scorned lover. Snow slashing sideways, turning Highmark Stadium into a whiteout coliseum. We touched down to sub-zero temps, breath fogging like ghosts, but the fire in my chest burned hotter. Conference championship, win, and we're Super Bowl bound. Lose, and the season's a footnote. For me, it was more redemption's gridiron. Hotel check-in was a blur of fleece hoodies and hot toddies. Jamal and I roomed up, his snoring a bass line to my midnight scrolls. Those DMs haunted. More pics trickling in, timestamps damning. Zachary at Brock's penthouse, arms tangled. I confronted him via text. What's this? His reply, hacked? Baby, I swear it's over. Doubt nod, but I shoved it down. Game face. Media day. Mics in my grill. Questions veering from X's and O's to off-field distractions. I deflected smooth. Family's everything. Keeps me grounded. Lies, but polished. Brock, preening for cameras. Tossed a wink my way. Taunt or truce. Hard to tell under his bravado. Walkthroughs in the dome were crisp. Coach diagramming blitz packages. Me absorbing like a sponge. Reyes, you're the tip of the spear, he growled. Drive it home. I nodded, visualizing. Josh Allen's rocket arm, their O-line's maul. But in quiet moments, Zachary's face superimposed. Pleading, broken. Love or liability. Game Eve. Sophia FaceTimed from her tattoo parlor. Ink-stained hands waving. Mijo. Channel the rage. Mom always said, hit M where it hurts. The heart. Her eyes, dark like mine, brimmed. And call that fool out. You deserve epic. Epic. I chuckled, throat tight. Miss you, sis. Post-call. Insomnia hit. I slipped into the hall, vending machine humming like judgment. Footsteps, Zachary, bundled in a peacoat, eyes red-rimmed. How he'd flown out uninvited. I didn't ask. Couldn't stay away, he murmured, pulling me into a stairwell alcove. AUS, those pics. Brock sent them. Trying to break us for good. Rage flared. Why? What's his game? Jealousy. Thinks you're the threat. Zachary's hands framed my face, cold thumbs tracing my jaw. I choose you. Always. Our kiss ignited, desperate, devouring, snow-muffled moans echoing off concrete. For a heartbeat, betrayal dissolved in heat, his body yielding like forgiveness. But as we broke apart, panting, reality crashed. Prove it, I whispered. Cut him out. All of him. I will. Promise hung heavy. He left with a ghost of a smile, and I returned to bed. Jamal's snores now a lullaby. Trust rebuilt? Maybe. But football waited. Impartial judge. 0 hour. Coin toss in a blizzard. flakes clotting our face masks. Allen 1. Deferred, us receiving. Kick return to the 25. Chains rattling in the gale. First play, handoff. I filled the alley, stuffing their FB for no gain. Crowds, Bills Mafia. Chant warped into a howl. But I felt alive, raw, electric. Brock's first drive, 3 and out, punting into the wind like a prayer unanswered. Our offense sputtered, drops, holds field goal good, 3-0. Second quarter, Bills strike, Allen scrambling for 20, TD toss, 7-3. Halftime locker, steam and strategy, coaches clipboard smacking lockers. Dig in, Reyes, their run game's gashing us. I led the charge second half kickoff, stripping the returner cold. Jamal scooped, 15 yards. Momentum. Brock answered, 50-yard bomb, tiptoeing the sideline for 6. 14-3. My stomach nodded, his alpha strut, pumping fists, Zachary's eyes on him from the box. But doubt fueled me. Third quarter, 4th and inches at midfield. Bills go for it, draw play. I read it, bull rushing their C. Hands inside, driving him back. Ball carrier met me head on. We tangled, rolling in snow churned to mud. Inches short. Turnover on downs. The stadium groaned. Our bench ignited. Clutch time. Trailing 17-16. 2 minutes left. Our ball at the 40. Brock in the gun. Audible called. Eyes flicking my way. Challenge issued. Snap. I dropped into coverage. No. Wait. He scrambled. Buying time. Receiver streaking free. Allen? No. Bills de-swarming. Wait. Wrong side. Our drive. Play action. Brock to RT. Picked. Interception at the 10. Touchdown Bills. 24-16. Gut punch. Time ticking. No huddle. Snow blinding. Final drive. 80 yards. 120. Brock surgical slants. A 30-yard strike on 3rd and 7. Spiked at the 15. 0-8 left. Field goal unit? No, coach signaled 2-point. Win or bust. Huddle tight. Breaths fogging. Brock's voice steady. Fade right. Reyes. Block your ass off. Me? Oh no. Adrenaline surged. Snap. Fade to our slot. DB jamming. I sealed the edge. World narrowing to that block. Ball arced. Caught. Tie game. 24 all. T. Overtime. Coin to us. Drive to the 25. 3 plays. Field goal. 27-24. Their turn. Allen heaves deep, broken up by Jamal. Punt. Our ball. For minutes. Run. Run. Kneel. Victory. The pylon was euphoric. Snow angels in end zone slush. Tears freezing on cheeks. Super Bowl bound. Brothers hoisting me. MVP. MVP. But as I rose. Helmet off. Zachary vaulted the barrier. Tackling me in a hug that thawed the storm. You did it, he breathed. Lips brushing my ear. Brock watched from afar. Expression unreadable. Defeat, respect, didn't matter. We'd won. But wins are fleeting. Back in Oakland. Super Bowl prep ramped. Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Us versus the Eagles. Hype tsunami. Parades. Fiancés. My face on Wheaties. Zachary moved back in. Tentative truce. Couples counseling via Zoom. His phone transparency policy. Nights blurred into passion's reclaim. Bodies rediscovering. Whispers of sorry swallowed in sheets. Yet, those DMs lingered. A digital specter. One eve, post-practice, I scrolled idly another pic. Fresh. Zachary at a client dinner. Brock's hand on his thigh under the table. Timestamp. Last night. Rage blacked my vision. I stormed the loft. Evidence blazing. Liar, he paled, stumbling over denials. It's edited, deep fake. Enough, I roared, hurling my phone. It shattered against the wall, glass shards like our vows. Get out, AUS. Wait. But I shoved him toward the door, locks clicking final. Alone, I sank to the floor, sobs racking. Betrayal's second act, deeper cut. Dawn brought clarity. Super Bowl Sunday. Gladiators under dome lights. Destiny's stage. I'd play for me, for the kid from East LA who dreamed big despite the odds. Eagles loomed, Hurts legs. Their D's bite. But I was forged in fire. Pre-game. National anthem. Fighters streaking. Fiancé belting. Huddle. Brock's hand on my shoulder. First real touch sans tension. We got this, brother. Alpha yielding or strategy? Snap judgment. Trust the play. Kickoff war. Crunching hits. Turf flying. First quarter stalemate, field goals, 6-6. Second, Eagles TD, 13-6. Halftime, adjustments, fire. Reyes, own the line, coach barked. Third, I sacked Hurts twice, strip on the second, fumble recovered. TD return. Tie. Crowd's 70K frenzy. Fourth, 20-20. 5 o'clock left. Eagles drive to our 34th down. I shot gap, arms wrapping Hurts' waist, driving him back. Incomplete. Ball over. Our offense. Brock magic scramble. Heave. 40-yard prayer answered. TD. 27-20. Their Hail Mary, picked by Jamal. Clock 0. Confetti apocalypse. Lombardi trophy gleams, Raiders champions. I hoist it, tears streaming, Sophia's scream from the stands. Zachary, nowhere. Brock, grinning beside me, arms slung brotherly. We triumphed. Man, but triumph's hollow without heart. In the glow, I whispered to the gods, for love. For me. Yet the field's truth lingers, battles won, but scars eternal. Super Bowl afterglow was a gilded cage. Ticker tape parades down Broadway. Manhattan's canyons echoing Reyes, Reyes, amid ticker tape blizzards. I waved from the float, Lombardi gleaming beside me, but inside, a chasm. Zachary's absence at the game, work emergency, he texted, reeked of smoke. Those deepfakes? Too real, too timed. Trust's thread, frayed to gossamer. NYC devolved to debauch. ESPN parties. Bottle service in meatpacking lofts. Celebs air-kissing cheeks. Brock thrived. Alpha in ascendance. Charming agents. Betting headlines. To the Kings, he toasted at one bash. Arm around a model. Eyes flicking my way. Clinked. Hollow. Jamal pulled me aside mid-swirl. You look like death warmed, bro. Spill. So I did betrayal redux. Zachary's ghost. He whistled low. Man, that's colder than Lambeau in December. Cut the cord. Oceans full of fish. Fish! I laughed. Bitter. I'm a shark. Blood in the water now. Post-parade. Flight home. Oakland's embrace. Fog-shrouded hills welcoming. Loft waited. Sterile without Zachary's chaos. His suit's gone. Fridge stocked solo. Crashed. Dreaming turbulent. Fields of blood-red turf. Brock's shadow eclipsing. Zachary's laugh echoing distant. Morning. Agent calls. Endorsement deluge. Gatorade. Nike. That truck commercial with the puppy. You're the face of resilience, my rep gushed. Resilience. Yeah. But faces crack. Sophia flew up, landing like a storm, hugs fierce, takeout burritos steaming. We walked Lake Merritt at dusk, joggers blurring. Her arm looped mine. You won the ring, Mijo. Now win your peace. Peace, ducks quacked mocking. Feels like halftime. Score tied, but exhausted. She stopped, ice fierce. Then sub in joy. Date. Dance. Remember Mom's mantra. Life's not the score. It's the heart you play with. Her words seeded. That week, off-season haze, I dipped tentative. Coffee with a graphic designer from the Castro meetup. His laugh easy. No stakes. Sparks. Flicker. Enough to text Zachary final done. Papers incoming. His reply, you deserve better. I know. Closure's knife clean, but bleeding. Spring bloomed. OTAs. Minicamp sweat under Raider Nation sun. Brock approached one drill's end. Water bottle extended. Olive branch? Hey! Truce? About Zach. He told me everything. I pushed too hard. Truce. I snatched the bottle. Grip testing. You torched my world for a thrill. He winced. Rare vulnerability cracking the armor. Thrill? Nah. Loneliness. QB's pedestal. Everyone wants a piece. No one the whole. Pause. Eyes meeting. You're real, Reyes. Respect that. Revelation hung. Alpha's confession, human, flawed. I nodded slow. Water under the bridge. But stay in your lane. He grinned. Genuine. Deal. Beers after. Beers became ritual. Post-practice pictures at Heinolds. That wonky bar by the estuary. Walls scarred from '06 quake. Stories swapped. His Ohio farm boy roots. My LA barrio brawls. Brock opened. Closeted crushes in high school. The weight of invincible. Me, mom's chemo vigils. Football's escape. Brotherhood bloomed. Unexpected alpha and enforcer. Allies. Zachary's divorce papers arrived May. Amicable. Assets split fair. Signing felt like exhaling after a held breath. Freedom's dawn. Summer sizzled. Charity golf in Pebble Beach. Me hacking divots. Celebs chuckling. There. A voice. Nice form for a lineman. Turned. Elias Grant. 29. Sports psych for the Giants. Olive skin. Curly dark hair. Hazel eyes twinkling mischief. Ex-athlete. He'd said, track star turned shrink. We bantered holes away. Chemistry crackling subtle. Shared swings. Accidental brushes. Coffee post-round. His laugh rich. Stories of Tokyo Olympics flameouts turned triumphs. Therapy's my tackle, he quipped. Heads instead of bodies. By July, dates blurred boundaries. Hikes in Point Reyes, fog-kissed cliffs, dinners in North Beach, pasta twirled under string lights. Elias saw me, scars and all. "You're not steady, Austin," he murmured one night, fingers tracing my tattooed ribs. A tribute to Mom, roses entwined with goalposts. "You're a storm. Beautiful chaos." Kisses ignited slow burn. First at his Sausalito deck. Waves lapping, stars pricking velvet sky. Passion built, bodies mapping new territories. His lean runner's frame yielding to my bulk. No rush, no rings, just presence. Love, rediscovered, tender, fierce. But ghost stirred. August training camp. Pads popping. Heat mirage. Zachary surfaced. "Congrats on the ring." Email laced contrite. Attached. Article link. "Him outed in Variety, Brock's doing?" Moving on. It read. "With a rising starlet. Smoke screen? Didn't matter." I deleted. Elias's hand squeezing mine at the next game watch. Preseason opener. Us thumping the Cardinals. My 3 tackles headlining. Postgame. Elias in the stands. Jersey hugging his frame. My number 94. "Fan for life," he grinned. Kissing me sideline fresh. Salt and sweat. Yet conflict brewed. Mid-September. Scandal dropped. Leaked audio. Brock's voice slurring at a Vegas afterparty. "Yeah. I bagged the agent, fiancé be damned." Alphas take what they want. Clips viral. Headlines screaming Raiders QB's gay bombshell and betrayal. League erupted. Investigations. Sponsor pulls. Brock called. Voice wrecked. AUS. It was drunk talk. Years ago. "Help me fix this." Pity ward with pain. "You lit the fuse, Harlan." Own the blast. But team first. Coach benched him indefinite. "Optics," he grunted. Huddle heavy. We rally. Reyes led. Weight settled. But I shouldered, defensive captain now. Fire in my veins. Elias counseled late nights. Betrayals echo, not chain. "You're free." October, bi-week getaway. Us in Big Sur, redwoods towering. Ocean crashing eternal. Cabin nights. Fire crackling. Bodies entwined. His whispers, "I see you," mending fractures. Hikes by day. Hands clasped. Futures sketched loose. Travels. Maybe a place in the hills. Return. Grind resumed. Bills rematch, revenge crisp. 28-10 win. My INT ceiling. Elias's cheers loudest. Postgame. Zachary cornered me in the tunnel. Gaunt. Eyes haunted. Heard the audio. "God. US. I'm sorry. For everything. Forgiven," I said, surprising us both. "But gone." He nodded, vanishing into shadows. Catharsis. November snowed early. Thanksgiving with Elias's fam in Sonoma. Turkey and toasts. His abuela's empanadas rivaling Sophia's. Acceptance wrapped warm, no questions. Just me amore slipped casual. Heart swelled. This. Human, flawed. Full. But climax loomed. December showdown. Us at Levi's versus the Chiefs again. Mahomes hungry. Arrowhead ghosts. Stakes. Playoff seeding. Legacy. Brock reinstated. Apology tour polished. Huddle pregame. His eyes met mine. No more games off field. Promise. Snap. Game a slugfest. Hits thunderous. Scores knotted 21 all fourth quarter. 90 left. Chiefs ball. I lined up, Elias's text buzzing pocket. Fight like you love. Win. Snap. Mahomes drops. I blitz clean. Sack stripping fumble. Recovery. Our field. Final drive. Brock to the house, game winner. 28-27. Playoffs clinched. Embrace post whistle. Brock's thank you. Brother. Real. Locker. Euphoria. But my phone lit, Sophia, proud. But check news. Heart stuttered. Article, Zachary. Outed fully. Coming clean. My betrayal broke a hero. But he rose. Accompaniment. Our story. Sanitized. Redemptive. Tears pricked. Not anger, pity. He'd found his field. Mine? Elias waiting. Arms open. Love's triumph. Not flawless. But fought for. Playoffs cascaded. Divisional rout of the Texans. My pick six a dagger. Elias in the box. His whoops sinking with the roar. Wildcard magic carried. NFC tears. Tears of joy. Conference rematch. Eagles redux. Hurts legs churning. But our D stonewalled. Brock's arm poetry. My stops symphony. 31-24. Super Bowl repeat. Destiny danced. Off field. Life wove richer. Elias and I house hunting Temescal bungalows. Visions of herb gardens. Game day brunches. Sophia visited. Vetting him over wine. He looks at you like you're the Lombardi. She inked a matching tat. Roses for mom. Now shared. But humanity's hue. Brock's struggles aired. Pressers raw. I'm gay. Unapologetic. Mistakes made. Lessons learned. League embraced cautious. Pride patches. Ally PSAs. He and I mentored rookies. Scars to stars. Vulnerabilities the real strength. Zachary faded echo. Last sighting. Napa Vineyard wedding to a producer. Tabloids toasting. No hate left. Just release. You free me to be free. His final card read. Human. Flawed vessels. Navigating storms. Super Bowl II. New Orleans Superdome. Mardi Gras pulse outside. 73K inside fevered. Us versus Packers, old blood. Lambeau ghosts. Pre-game. Anthem swelling. Lizzo's voice soaring. Huddle. For the ring. And the real wins. Brock intoned. Hands stacked. Mine atop. Carnage commenced. First half trench war. 10-10. Halftime. Legends whispers. Bo Jackson's speed. My grit. Third, Green Bay TD. 17-10. My response. Forced fumble. Jamal house call. Tie. Fourth, 24-24. 45 left. Packers ball. 4th and 6 at midfield. Rodgers heaves deep post. I shadowed the safety. Leap contesting. Tips fluttering. Incomplete, fate's favor. Our ball. No huddle. Brock audible. Eyes locked mine, unspoken trust. Play naked boot, unblocked rusher. Time buys. Scrambles. Offloads slant. Incomplete. 20. Spike. 10. Out route dropped. 0-5. Hail Mary setup. Max protect. 5 WRs. I blocked edge. World tunnel vision. His drop. Arm cock. Launch spiral soaring. Dome lights haloing. Cluster at goal, hands sweat. Ball pins caught. End zone. Touchdown. 31 to 24. Kneel out. Champions repeat kings. Confetti deluge. Lombardy reclaimed. Podium tears. For my family, the one's blood, chosen. For love that fights, Elias rushed field. Kiss salt sweet amid flashes. Sophia bear hug. Mom's smiling. Brock beside. Arms slung. We triumphed. Brother. Post-victory haze. Parade floats. Bourbon Street beads raining. A quiet core. Elias and I on a balcony. Jazz drifting. His head on my shoulder. What's next? Hero? Us. I murmured. The real field. Years unfurled. Retiree at 32. ESPN analyst gigs. Elias's practice booming, our therapy. Shared clients laughing at couple's edge. Adopted twins, Luca and Mia. Chaos of sippy cups. Tiny jerseys. Sophia anti-supreme. Inking their first tats at 18. Brock, commissioner's diversity czar. Alpha turned advocate. His wedding to a chef. Us toasting grooms. Zachary, distant friend. Hollywood producer. His rom-coms laced our story's echo. Betrayal to breakthrough. Nights. Field memories replay. That first shattering kiss. Zach's sealing fates. But triumph? Not the rings. Gleaming relics. But the heart's hall. Forgiveness forged. Love reclaimed. In America's sprawl, from LA grit to Bay fog, we played on. Not for glory, but grace. Human, gay, unbroken. On dawn fields, cleats echo eternal. Fight. Love. Win.